I am speaking to you now because your heart has been carrying a weight you could not name, a hush that sits in the corners of your room when the lights are low and the night tries to convince you that you are alone. You are not alone. Today, on October 12th, I send my word to meet you in the very place you are standing. I do not need you to be perfect to hear me. I do not require you to perform to be worthy of my voice. I simply ask you to breathe and receive. Do not skip this. Do not look away from what your spirit already knows is arriving. I have held every hour that brought you here. I have numbered every tear that did not fall but burned quietly behind your eyes. I have seen you rehearse bravery for other people while you rationed hope for yourself. I am not late. I am on time, and I am with you. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not as a statue frozen in someone else's imagination, but as a living envoy of strength. He says, "Listen." He says, "This is not a trick of your mind." He says, "Your name has been spoken in heaven with tenderness, with a care that does not evaporate when the morning comes." He says, "Guard your heart with truth, because deception has circled like a wolf around your memory." Truth does not tremble. Truth does not beg. Truth stands. I send him to cut away the cords that have kept you tied to an old story. I send him to shield you while you walk through a doorway you feared would swallow you. He is here to steady you while I speak a message you need for this hour. Someone from heaven has been trying to reach you about a person who is leaving you forever. This is not a threat. This is not punishment. This is an unveiling. Do not skip this. Receive what I am placing in your hands. You have felt the signs, the strange quiet at the edges of conversations, the way your chest tightens when you think of a certain name, the dreams that repeat like a gentle knock. You tried to dismiss the signals as superstition, but your spirit knew. The one in heaven who loves you has been permitted to nudge your awareness, to point at the page you must turn now. They have stood in the doorway of your remembrance, not to torment you, but to rescue you from a loop that will not honor the future I wrote under your name. They have seen the path from my side, and from that side the tangle becomes clear. They ask you to let go of what has been allowed to depart. They ask you to release your grip with dignity, not because you failed, but because the season is fulfilled. Grief is not a punishment, it is a gate through which love changes its clothing. Your heart is not being emptied so it can be abandoned. Your heart is being cleared so that what is true can breathe. You wanted a sign that would make the decision for you. You wanted lightning. You wanted a letter written in the sky. But I am the God who hides my greatest confirmations inside quiet certainties that refuse to be bullied by noise. The certainty is this: the more you cling to what is leaving, the smaller your world becomes, the more you bless what must go, the wider your world opens. I am not asking you to pretend this is easy. I am asking you to trade panic for presence. Feel what you feel, but let Michael stand at the door so fear does not impose itself as truth. You do not need to beg anyone to see you. You do not need to audition for love. What cannot remain with you cannot define you. What cannot speak honestly to you cannot grow with you. What cannot honor the covenant of my hand over your life cannot claim your future. The one in heaven has watched you interpret silence as rejection, when sometimes silence is simply the sound of me rearranging what you cannot yet see. They have watched you pray and then snatch your prayer back because the waiting felt like abandonment. They have asked me to give you a word that would steady your hands. Here is that word, release. Not the release that throws away, but the release that blesses. Not the release that collapses, but the release that stands up taller. The person who is leaving you forever, by choice, by distance, by story, or by the boundary you must now enforce, does not take me with them. I remain with you. I do not divide myself. I do not run out. I do not love you by halves. You will remember that you are not a leftover. Your worth was not an opinion formed in a human mind, it was established in me before there were calendars to count your days. I measured your life with promise, and I do not forfeit what I promise. The one in heaven says, tell them not to spend another night bargaining with shadows. Tell them to open their hands. Tell them to look up. And I say to you, when you surrender what clings to you without covenant, you make room for what is appointed. The door you keep pushing will not open because you are at the wrong door. The door I crafted for you recognizes you, it opens with the weight of your true name. Do not skip this. Sit here with me while I rearrange the furniture of your thoughts. You have confused familiarity with faithfulness. You have confused apologies with repentance. You have confused attention with love. You have confused reception with presence. Let me separate these for you. Familiarity is not faithfulness, it is the muscle memory of proximity. Faithfulness is a vow kept in the dark when applause has gone home. Apologies are sounds, repentance is a new direction. Attention is a flash, love is a shelter. Reception is a signal. Presence is a chair pulled up next to your ache. I do not deal in flashes and signals. I build shelters. I sit in chairs next to your ache until the ache learns it is safe enough to loosen its grip. Michael draws a line around you now, a boundary of light. He places his hand on the anxious part of your mind that believes you will shatter if you do not keep controlling what you never controlled. He says, peace. He says, stand. He says, there is a time to fight and a time to hand the sword back to the one who forged it. This is that time. Hand me the names you cannot stop rehearsing. Hand me the conversations you keep rewriting. Hand me the versions of yourself you built to be chosen. I am not choosing your performance. I am choosing you, because I made you, because I know the blueprint behind every brave face and trembling yes. Someone from heaven is trying to talk to you because they know you. They know the child you were, making promises to keep everyone at the table even when it cost you your own voice. They know the adult you became, wearing resilience like armor that never came off. They know how you pushed joy to the side because grief taught you that nothing lasts. They are not scolding you from a distance. They are cheering you toward the shore, calling your name across waters you thought would drown you. And here I am, the God who walks on what frightened you, saying, "Come." Not to a perfection you do not possess, but to a trust that is enough for today. I will not hide the truth from you, there is a leaving here. There is a door closing. There is the sound of footsteps moving away. But do not count what is going as if it is the sum of your life. You are not being reduced, you are being refined. When you release with a blessing, you do not lose, you sow, seeds do not vanish because they are placed in dark soil. Seeds do their most important work where the eye cannot audit them. So it shall be with you. I am planting what you have surrendered. I am guarding what you have entrusted. I am not afraid of your emptiness, I specialize in filling what is empty with what endures. There will be a tenderness that follows you in the next few days. Do not mistake it for weakness. It will be the soft power of clarity. You will notice that certain words no longer wound you, that certain temptations to explain yourself fall off your shoulders. You will stop chasing answers that insult the intelligence of your spirit. You will begin to choose quiet rather than chaos, truth rather than theater. You will feel the strength of boundaries forming like new bones. And in that forming, I will confirm you. I will send reminders that feel like kindness arriving at your doorstep unannounced, a phrase that lights in your mind, a message from an unexpected voice, a moment in a day where the air itself seems to lift. These are not coincidences. These are my fingerprints on the hour. Do not skip this. Say aloud, even if your voice shakes, that you release what cannot honor the future I have for you. Say aloud that you forgive, not because their choices were small, but because your freedom is not small. Say aloud that you are done rehearsing the scene where you are abandoned. You are not an orphan. You are mine. I do not leave you in doorways with your suitcase on the step. I open the house and light the lamps and set the table and call you by your real name. You are not failing because you were not chosen by what is leaving. You are remembering that you were chosen before it ever arrived. Michael now lifts what fear placed over your eyes. He shows you a path that does not curve back on itself. He shows you a calendar that is not a countdown to losing, but a countdown to becoming. He shows you that letting go is not the same as being left. Letting go is an act of courage that honors both truth and love. If you must speak, speak with blessing. If you must be silent without bitterness. If you must cry, cry without shame. I do not rush you through process, I redeem process until it shines. The one in heaven asks me to tell you this: I am well. I am not trapped in the pain that marked my ending. I see clearly now. If I could put my hands on your shoulders, would steady you and say, live. Not half alive in the museum of yesterday, but fully alive in the wildness of grace. Receive this as a gift without debt. Place it like a lamp inside the room where you keep your regrets. Let it burn. Let it remind you that love does not end, it learns a new language. Speak that language by blessing what must go and welcoming what must come. You have asked me, what will become of me if they go? I answer you with myself. What will become of you is what has always been set under your feet, goodness and mercy stalking your steps, purpose that cannot be stolen, joy that returns like an honest friend, peace that does not renegotiate its terms every time a door closes. I am not cursing you with this leaving, I am curing you of the lie that your worth depends on a human staying. Do you hear me? You are not a contingency. You are not a backup plan. You are the beloved. If you could see what I have prepared, your hands would stop clawing at what is already a shadow. So do not skip this. Pause and breathe. Place your hand over your heart. Say, I am safe with God. Say, I will bless what must go. Say, I welcome what is true. Feel Michael's presence like a strong wall at your back. Feel the nearness of the one in heaven like a warm memory without the thorn. Feel my voice steadying your pulse. You will not be swallowed by this transition. You will not vanish into sorrow. You will walk through this with a grace that surprises even you. And when you come through, and you will find that your laughter sounds different, that your rest carries depth, that your eyes do not scan the room for permission to exist. You will belong to your life again, and your life will belong to me. I bless your next decision with clarity. I bless your home with peace that runs like water into every corner. I bless your mornings with courage and your nights with gentleness. I rebuke the condemnation that tries to rewrite your story as failure. I silence the voice that confuses your compassion with weakness. I strengthen the part of you that knows how to tell the truth without cruelty and to love without erasing yourself. Stand up now on the inside. Lift your head. I am not ashamed of you. I am not disappointed in your slowness to heal. I am patient, and I am thorough, and I am here. And as you walk forward, remember this sealed promise on October 12th: what leaves you does not diminish me in you. What remains is what can grow. What arrives will fit. You are not running out of time, you are stepping into timing. The river of your life has been trying to find its true bed again. Now it will. I hold you in the hollow of my hand. I know your beginnings and your becoming. When you cannot trace what I am doing, you can always trust who I am. I am the God who keeps. I am the God who mends. I am the God who goes ahead and walks beside and dwells within. Be at peace. Do not skip this. Receive it into your bones. Let it work. Let it free you. And when you are ready, bless the leaving and step through the door I have opened. I will meet you on the other side, because I have been there all along. I am with you in this moment, closer than your breath and steadier than the ground under your feet, and I am asking you to listen without delay. You have asked for a sign, this is your sign. You have asked for a voice, this is my voice. You have asked if heaven truly concerns itself with the matters of your heart. Heaven is leaning close to you now. Archangel Michael stands at your right hand, the sword of truth at rest but ready, and the light that never fails is poured upon you as morning pours upon the mountains. Do not be afraid of what I am about to say. Do not be terrified of the words that follow. What is revealed is not to wound you but to free you, and what is asked of you is not to break you but to bring you into the strength I appointed for you before you were born. Someone from heaven is trying to reach you. They have whispered through your memories. They have brushed the edge of your dreams. They have stirred the air around you when you were still and wondering why the room felt suddenly warmer or why your eyes filled without reason. They are permitted to speak now because you asked me to allow it, and because I have weighed the time and found it ready. Their message is simple in words and immense in consequence. There is a person who is leaving you forever. This is not a threat meant to frighten you, it is an unveiling meant to steady you. Forever is a strong word in your world, and I do not use it carelessly. I want you to know it so you can stop bargaining against the tide and start walking with the wind I send. Hear me. You have carried a hope that has become heavier than hope should ever be. You have held a door that closed itself again and again because you believed that more love meant more holding. You've called the act of clinging faithfulness, and you've called the ache process, and you've called the quiet emptiness in your chest patience. Yet you have felt the slow erosion within you, the sand of your days drifting from the hourglass of your courage, and you have wondered why your laughter sounded like a recording and not a river. The person you have waited for, excused, explained, defended, and reimagined is making a departure that will not be undone by one more long conversation, one more promise, one more memory, one more apology, one more burst of intense tenderness that fades like a struck match. I am not punishing you, I am liberating you. I am not shaming you, I am strengthening you. You are not being discarded, you are being delivered. Michael says, stand. So stand. Place your feet upon the floor, and feel that you are held. Place your hand upon your heart, and feel that you are alive. Whisper out loud if you can bear it, I am not alone. For you are not. I am already in the place beyond this goodbye, I am already in the first morning that does not ache. I am already in the hour when your hands are free for what I planned and your eyes are clear to see what is coming. I do not reveal this to you to make you scramble for control, to send frantic messages, to twist meaning from signs, or to beg for what is already leaving. I reveal this so you will move with dignity, wisdom, and mercy, for yourself and for the one who departs. You will ask me, why now? Because you are strong enough now. Because the lesson has ripened and will spoil if you try to keep it longer on the branch. Because the prayers you kept whispering, heal me, grow me, guide me, guard me, align me, cannot be answered inside a room whose walls insist on yesterday. Because the love you want will not arrive to find you kneeling in the ashes of your own altar to disappointment. Because the vow I made over your life requires room. Because I saw you on nights when you pretended you weren't crying and mornings when you smiled like a warrior while your heart hid like a fawn. Because you believed you could only choose one, either keep them or be whole. I refuse that life for you. Listen carefully. The one leaving is not your enemy. Your enemy is the pattern that convinced you pain is the price of being chosen. The one leaving is not a monster. Your shadow calls them that because your shadow is afraid to be without a familiar story. You are not required to rename betrayal as loyalty. You are not required to repaint neglect into sacrifice. You are not required to bind your future to half-truths and almosts. You are not required to keep teaching someone how to treat you while forgetting how to treat yourself. You are required to honor what I show you. You are required to love without self-erasure. You are required to forgive without surrendering your boundaries. You are required to carry peace like a lit lamp, not like a blanket thrown over a fire. Michael draws the line of truth around you now. See it with your spirit, a ring of clear light that does not wound, only differentiates. Within this ring, your yes regains its meaning, and your no is no longer an apology but an answer. Within this ring, the message from heaven arrives with authority and tenderness. The one who speaks to you from beyond the veil, whose love is now pure because it is washed of earthly fear, has watched you try to make yourself smaller so you would fit inside someone else's certainty. They have watched you give away your seasons like coins into a well that did not return water. They call you by the name you had before you learned caution, before you learned to swallow lightning and call it fine. They say, "We love you. We are not far. We have seen the thread fray, and we have asked God to place in your hand the scissors of courage. I have placed them there. Feel them. You will not use them to cut people, you will use them to cut patterns. You think you will be destroyed by abandonment. No. You are being disentangled from an agreement you never truly made with me. You were not fashioned to live inside the approval of one uncertain heart. You were not designed to orbit a single opinion as if it were a sun. I placed a constellation over your life, and I intend to teach you its names. I am not removing love from you, I am removing a dam that kept love from reaching you in its right form. When the river runs, it will look like self-respect stepping forward without the tremor of apology. It will look like restful sleep that does not keep one eye open. It will look like laughter that interrupts your day and surprises even you. It will look like friendships that feed you, work that fits you, service that stretches you without breaking you, and romance, if you desire it, that does not require you to vanish to be adored. Do not race ahead and write the end of the story in fear. Do not rehearse conversations that never happen. Do not sit in imaginary courtrooms and deliver closing arguments to an audience that will never assemble. There is a holiness in unperformed explanations. You are allowed to let silence carry what once devoured your energy. You can grieve, and still not go back. You can remember soft moments, and still not return to hard patterns. You can bless a path someone else must walk, and still not join them upon it. Today has a weight. The date matters because you asked me for something exact, something I can hold. Hold this, today I mark a turning. Today I align meetings, interruptions, and inner nudges that converge like roads into a single yes. Watch for 3 small signs. First, a phrase spoken by a stranger that lands in you like an arrow of clarity. Second, a pause you honor instead of filling with justification. Third, a practical act you take that your fear calls reckless but your peace calls responsible. These will not parade as miracles on a stage. They will arrive like ordinary doors, and your courage to walk through them will be the miracle. You will ask, what do I do with love I still feel? You do with it what I do with the sunrise. Receive it, be warmed by it, and let it become the day without trying to hold the light in your fist. Love does not prove itself by how much it endures cruelty. Love proves itself by how well it tells the truth. If the one leaving could have stayed in truth, they would have stayed. If they have chosen another road, let my blessing follow them, and let my blessing remain with you. Release does not make you faithless, it makes you faithful to the truth we share. Michael says, guard the gates. Your gates are your thoughts, your time, your body, your attention, your conversations. Guard them with gentleness and firmness. Do not permit nostalgia to masquerade as discernment. Do not let loneliness pretend to be revelation. Do not confuse delay with devotion. Your life will no longer be a waiting room for promises someone is unwilling to keep. Your life will be a house with windows open to my breath and a table wide enough for the friends I send. There is also a warning I give in love. When you choose freedom, there will be echoes that attempt to call you back, patterns that speak in familiar tones, invitations wrapped in apologies, sudden flurries of grand words unbacked by consistent choices. Do not despise anyone for being human. Simply measure fruit, not speeches. Watch where effort shows up, not where dramatic gestures appear. You have learned to interpret the weather of words, now learn to read the climate of actions. Michael will nudge you when charm tries to launder control. He will settle your spirit when you are tempted to trade your peace for temporary closeness. He will remind you, you are not losing love, you are losing the bargain that kept you from love. I give you practical steps because I delight to walk with you in